Good afternoon, everyone. Please rise and remove any hats for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead.
You may be seated.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2025 Commencement Ceremony for the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy. My name is Dr. Angela Raleigh, and I am truly honored to serve as the Principal and Chief Academic Officer at IMSA. Welcome to our families, our friends, faculty, staff, honored emeriti, special guests, and of course, our students in the class of 2025. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium your first student speaker, Mr. Tristan Marley Wicks Castillo.
That is indeed his roommate. All right. Hey, you're finally awake. These are the first words you hear from the beloved Rayloff from the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. In Skyrim, you wake up on a carriage being taken to your own execution. I believe that Skyrim truly exemplifies the IMSA seniors' experience. And while we aren't being taken to our deaths, we have all gone through a personal journey at IMSA, which has led us to the new game we are about to start. Before we start our new quest, I have a few words to reminisce on the adventures of our journey that have brought us here today to graduation. When I first loaded into IMSA, I was nervous, to put it lightly. I was a 14-year-old 8th grader who had the opportunity to live at a boarding school meant for those who were considered the witches and wizards of the academic world. I was convinced I was attending the closest thing to Hogwarts I could get my hands on. And being a huge Harry Potter nerd, there was a mixture of both nervousness and excitement, something that I assume many IMSA students had felt. These feelings persisted until the beginning of Welcome Week, where I met so many amazing people through all 3 grades who showed me that home is where you choose it to be. Although I came to IMSA for the academics, the connections I made convinced me to stay. Being from a smaller school, I, like many people who were from a smaller school, felt like I was very used to being a big fish in a small pond, whereas IMSA felt like a rushing river where I could easily be swept up in the current. The connections I made during my time at IMSA have truly shown me how to make a home wherever you are, but also really helped me learn how to go with the flow and embrace the ever-changing environment of not only IMSA, but also the world. From the Vaughn trips with my roommate, the late-night talks with upperclassmen, and the movies in D-Wing of '07, to just chilling in Stacy's office before class, I found what I needed to keep me grounded. And when the current was strongest, Jesus Christ is who kept me and is keeping me afloat. While being afloat is nice, movement is needed for progress, and I have been able to learn how to truly start moving by taking care of myself. IMSA makes it really easy for us to forget to take care of ourselves, because yes, while we shower, hopefully, and eat on occasion, we so often lose ourselves in everything that we have going on. What IMSA has taught not only me, but many students is how to make sure you take time for yourself. Because who's going to move towards your own goals if you can't move at all? With that being said, balance comes into play. For example, how many hours of Genshin Impact you play a night versus how much homework you do. Or even if that assignment is really worth the 2 hours of sleep. Balance is such a crucial part of life. Too much of one thing is never good, whether that thing is considered a good or bad thing for you. Being balanced allows us to enjoy all aspects of life, the work, the connections, and times when we can just veg out on the couch and watch a whole anime series in one day, or whatever else you do in your free time. Balance was always something that I had thought I had mastered. That was until I tried to take on a boss while I was still underleveled. Let me explain. During my senior year here at IMSA, I wanted to be involved as I could. I was joining culture shows, plays, and even participating in new club activities. This was a blast, but through all of this, the one person I took care of the least was myself. And while yes, the culture shows were amazing, the plays were fantastic, and the club events were super fun, I had no balance whatsoever. This led me to hit a breaking point I didn't even know that I had. This experience, as young as I am, will stick with me for the rest of my life. That without balance, we won't be able to truly experience life. Stopping to smell the flowers, or even just staring at the sunset with someone you love. These are all things you need time for. And without balance, that time will slip away. And as someone close to me once said, life happens when you're making other plans. So please, don't forget to stop and smell the flowers every now and again. Balance is just one of the lessons that IMSA has taught me that have bettered me as a human being, as it has with hopefully every student who has attended IMSA. Something my mom always said is, home is where you hang your hat. And I can confidently say that IMSA is where we've hung our hats these past 3 years. Now that we are all moving on, there's something that I'd like you all to remember. That is, in order to move on, we must move forward. In order to move forward, we must begin moving. In the wise words of the Minecraft credits, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sail. Explore, dream, discover. And I'll leave it to Carissa to show us how to begin moving. Thank you.
Hello, class of 2025. How are we feeling today? You know, the last time I stood in front of you all, our entire class, was to give a speech on why you should elect me as a sophomore at large. Although I don't remember much besides one candidate's ping pong stunt, you know who you are, it seems many of you didn't find your zen with Chen. Back then, I faced a sea of unfamiliar faces, anxious about what the next 3 years would bring. Now, I stand before my friends, my classmates, and my teammates with memories I will never forget. As senior year went by, I felt nostalgia wash over me at the most unplanned moments, watching my last culture show, realizing that Lexington's Taco Tuesdays were coming to an end, and staying up to play mahjong past midnight. But with this nostalgia came reflection, and I realized how this uniquely IMSA experience has prepared us for the future, when I step off the stage and when we all turn our tassels. Reflecting on my IMSA career, I want to share 3 lessons I've learned as a student, an athlete, a roommate, and a friend. The first lesson I learned was to stop caring about what others think of you. What will people think if I ask this question in class? Should I have said that? Do people think this? Do people think that? Nobody, I mean nobody, cares about every little thing that you're doing. So do your thing. Care so deeply about every pursuit and put your all into everything you do. Let go of the fear of being seen, of being judged. It's your life. I've always championed the fact that you should never feel embarrassed doing something that you love to do and what you find interesting. Whether that be something as simple as going to the fitness center and trying a new machine, talking to your teacher about a favorite podcast of yours, or even just dabbing. We should bring this same resolve to be authentically ourselves wherever we end up. Life is too short to worry about grass on the other side. The second lesson I've learned is that it is essential to find your community. At IMSA, we tie our identities to the people we surround ourselves with. I'm in exactly 361 messenger group chats, and yes, I counted them this morning. For me, One of those communities is 1502, where in B-Wing we learned how to dance at a rave through YouTube tutorials, held post-10 check sound and light study sessions, and competed in epic Just Dance battles. I found the people who allowed me to be myself in front of them. Through all of our classes' shared experiences, Clash of the Halls, pep rallies, Lunar, Casa de la Raza, Diwali, and Essence, we've all found ourselves as well. IMSA has taught us what we value in the people we surround ourselves with. Although we'll go our separate ways, we now know to seek communities that lift us up, whether that be on our dorm floor or within our major. And whether we pass each other on the street on the way to our first internship, or see each other at the next 5-year IMSA reunion, we should remember that after we leave this place, we'll continue our search for the sense of community that we've all built during our time here. The final lesson I want to share with you today is this: when one door closes, another opens. You can't always plan for the future. Sometimes life is going to hit you in the face, so you will need to learn to lean back on the lessons you've learned here and the friends you've made. As I reflect on my time at IMSA, I have no regrets. Losing my sophomore at-large election was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. It gave me the nudge I needed to step out of my comfort zone and join clubs and groups I would have never thought to join. Every no has taught me how to look for a yes. If you take one thing away from the speech, though, let it be this: we knew IMSA would prepare us for our future well, to live on our own, juggle the rigorous academic course load, and balance all of our many commitments. But our time here taught us more than what we wrote about initially in our Why IMSA essays. We've learned not to care about what others think, to volunteer ourselves at pep rallies, sign up for talent shows, new culture show dances. We find new communities every day, whilst playing cards during our off mods, spike ball as the sun sets, or sitting with a new group of people at Lexington. We don't let a rejection get in our way. All of our class's accomplishments speak to that. Most importantly, though, we've learned who we are and what matters most to us. And in honor of the IMSA class of 2025, the community I have come to know and love over the past 3 years, I would like to conclude my speech with the IMSA chant. So if you know the words, join in. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine, 3.14159, pi, I, cube root x, rock'em sock'em, we're the best. Go Titans! Thank you. Now you will hear from IMSA's Board of Trustees Chair-elect, Eric Brown.
Good afternoon, incredible IMSA Titan graduates and families. I'm Eric Brown, a member of the Board of Trustees and a biology teacher at Evanston Township High School. So believe me when I say, every teacher here shares immense pride in your remarkable achievement. Today is your day, a milestone you've reached through dedication and hard work. Yet let's take a moment to celebrate the amazing network of support that has lifted you up, your teachers who have guided you, and your families who have believed in you. Remember, we achieve so much more with the support of others than we could ever do alone. In a world filled with uncertainty, the most precious gift one can offer is hope. Hope for a brighter future, hope for a more compassionate society, hope that everything ultimately will be better than what it is now. This hope fuels our resilience and drives us forward. This hope is what you all provide us old fuddy-duddies. In you we see what is possible. In you we see our wrongs righted and our failings overcome. Our keynote speaker, Ryan Wang, embodies this spirit of hope. He is a shining example of what's possible when you dream big and work passionately. As a proud alumnus of IMSA's class of 2008, Ryan went on to achieve incredible things. He earned degrees in economics and statistics from the University of Chicago. He became an early pioneer at Stripe and then co-founded Assembled, a customer support platform designed to help organizations deliver exceptional service experiences. Under Ryan's visionary leadership, Assembled has flourished, growing to a team of over 140 individuals, including fellow IMSA graduates. Ryan's journey is a testament to the power of leadership, innovation, and service, the very values that IMSA seeks to ignite in each of you. We are honored to welcome him back to share his inspiring story. So please join me in a warm and enthusiastic welcome for our keynote speaker, Ryan Wang. Let's give him the attention and applause he so richly deserves. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Eric Brown. Faculty, staff, families, friends, and most especially IMSA graduates of the class of 2025, congratulations. And a special shout out to our state champs in Super Smash Brothers. As someone who spent far too many nights in 05B Wing playing Smash, I'm both proud and admittedly jealous. Please find me after this. I need a selfie so I can share it with my alum text thread. Dr. Glazer asked me to share what I've learned from my journey in entrepreneurship and technology. It's funny, I believe my career is just beginning. At the same time, the tech industry is one of rapid change. I already find myself looking up to people your age who have built great companies or introduced amazing technologies and ideas into the world. IMSA changed my life profoundly. I often tell people proudly that I went to a public, boarding, magnet high school funded by the state. One that cultivated the ideas and behaviors foundational to my approach to entrepreneurship. Today, I'd like to share a few insights from my own journey, and hoping they'll resonate as you take the next step in yours. And down the line, when you're out there changing the world, I hope you'll find your own meaningful ways to give back to IMSA. Let me start with a simple lesson I've learned from Silicon Valley. Build stuff. Living in Silicon Valley truly feels like living in the future. When I moved there in 2014, self-driving cars were still just running on test tracks. Today, I regularly take one to work. Back then, Greg Brockman ran my onboarding at Stripe as CTO. Today, he co-founded OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT. These leaps forward weren't just high-level visions of the future. They were the outcomes of persistent decisions to build. The secret of Silicon Valley and entrepreneurship in general isn't so secret. You just build stuff. It's not brilliant business strategy or hyper-charismatic fundraising or perfectly timing the market. Building stuff, whether that's companies or ideas or movements, is ultimately how we make the world a better place. When I started Assembled with my brother John, the living room of our 3-bedroom apartment was our office. Our third co-founder lived down the street, and we could see him walking up to get to work. We would have contractors live in the extra room. It was super simple, it was super fun, and it was existentially scary, but it was all about building something from nothing. And now, 5 years later, 140 people at the company, we serve hundreds of customers, hundreds of thousands of customer support agents, and process billions of customer support interactions. When I interview people, I tell them to join us if they want to build the company they want to work at. And what got us from those early days to now is that we made a choice at the beginning to always focus on building and creating, both ourselves and the people we surrounded ourselves with. Here's the second lesson. It's not always up and to the right. My own IMSA story started when I got in, luckily, off the wait list. Back then, academics weren't a priority, and I had never needed to try hard in school. Instead, my big dream was playing baseball at Downers Grove South High School. Freshman year, I didn't make the team, and I remember sitting during lunch period, head in my arms, feeling crushed. I resolved that if IMSA accepted me, I would go and never again be held back by not taking school seriously. As soon-to-be IMSA alums, all of you have experienced the feeling of being top of your class, testing into IMSA, and then having to overcome new, unexpected challenges. Maybe you were a big fish in a small pond, and then had to adjust to being in this densely packed place of smart and talented and hardworking peers who push you to grow. I got my first job in tech through nepotism, on my little brother's recommendation. I'd sent out hundreds of emails and only had one phone interview that went nowhere. And meanwhile, John was juggling 20 job offers and sell calls from Silicon Valley legends. Eventually, he introduced me to the CEO of Stripe, giving me my big break. And when Stripe offered me a job, I accepted on the spot. Back then, it was an 80-person startup, and now it's a 10,000-person behemoth. And working at Stripe during that hyper-growth phase, surrounded by incredibly talented and ambitious people, taught me firsthand how great startups are built, and most importantly, showed me that I could do it too. If you're seeing a pattern by now, it's that the cycle of failure to success never stops. Patrick Collison, the CEO of Stripe, used to quote Ben Lamond, the legendary cyclist, "It never gets easier, you just go faster." So as you go off to different colleges, different cities, or whatever's next, you'll undoubtedly face new, seemingly insurmountable challenges again. You'll probably fail once in a while. And my message to you is that's okay. You've been through it before, and you'll find a way to get through it again. Finally, let's talk about how big things can seem small at first. I remember going to a house party in 2015. It was hosted by Greg Brockman, then newly transitioned from CTO of Stripe to OpenAI co-founder. It was a casual gathering of now famous researchers, and I even remember bumping into a fellow IMSA alum from the swim team, who was a PhD student at Stanford. At the time, they were tinkering with what seemed like small, playful experiments. They built an AI that could beat the best humans in the world at Dota, a video game. After that, they built a robot hand that could solve a Rubik's Cube. And years later, in November 2022, boom, they launched ChatGPT, a breakthrough that changed everything in tech. I share the story of this party to illustrate that over time, small improvements, nurtured persistently, can multiply exponentially. What started as a small gathering of researchers and engineers working on an AI for a video game ended up changing the world. And at Assembled, we had a similar experience of something small leading to something big. Early on, we were chasing our first customer before we had raised any money. It was a hot internet commerce brand based in New York, and we offered to meet in person, and when they said yes, we had to scramble to book flights for the next day because we were actually in San Francisco. In visiting their office, we saw TV dashboards everywhere that listed how many calls were waiting, how long they'd been waiting, and how many people were available to help. Their head of support told us about some of the improvements she'd always hoped for, and that evening, we built those changes right into our product, tested them on the TV in the Airbnb, and delivered exactly what they needed. That company ended up becoming our first real enterprise customer, and it led to our first round of investment. IMSA's mission is to advance the human condition. That's pretty audacious, and to this day continues to put my own goals into perspective. On my worst days, I think customer support is too small. How could this be advancing the human condition? And I've spent nearly a decade working on this problem. On my best days, I think that it touches nearly everyone's lives, and in so many ways, and is the starting point for all operations inside every organization. Assembled is just getting started. I feel like I'm just getting started, but in retrospect, things have been building on top of each other, even if unexpectedly. So, this is my advice for you. 1, the secret is not so secret, just build stuff. 2, it's not all up and to the right. The cycle of failure to success never stops. It doesn't get easier, you just go faster. And finally, big things can seem small at first. Don't worry that your ambitions aren't ambitious enough. The world is going to be a better place because of all of you, so go out there and build. But before you do, Super Smash Champs, please come find me after this. I really do want a selfie. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Good afternoon once again to our families, friends, faculty, honored guests. It's a tremendous privilege to stand before you today for this momentous occasion. It is your commencement. On behalf of the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy, I offer my warmest congratulations to our class of 2025. Today is a celebration of everything that you have achieved, and just as importantly, of everything you are becoming. As Principal and Chief Academic Officer, I have the joy of witnessing the change of growth that takes place in our students, not just intellectually, but emotionally, ethically, and socially. And that growth, although momentous, is not always easy. It reminds us of one of nature's most profound transformations, the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly. At the senior banquet last night, Dr. Berger spoke about the traits of a butterfly, its beauty, strength, persistence, and how a butterfly is not able to see how beautiful and amazing it is. These all apply to you, our graduating class. For today, I'd like to take time to reflect back on how that butterfly came to be. Think about that journey for a moment, your journey, the journey of a caterpillar. The caterpillar begins as something small, perhaps even unnoticed, feeling insignificant. It moves slowly, deliberately, consuming and growing, preparing for something greater. Then comes the chrysalis of time of internal reflection, of change, of struggle. Remember that inside the cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't just grow wings. It actually dissolves into a kind of messy biological soup, completely restructuring itself. It breaks down itself to become something new. That process is not easy, it's not beautiful, but it's necessary. And so it is with each of you. You arrived at IMSA full of potential, bright, eager, nervous, we've heard that from our grads, and often unsure. Over the months and years, you took in knowledge and experiences like a caterpillar feeding on leaves. You absorbed the wonder of science, the discipline of mathematics, the depth of humanities, and the fire and creativity and innovation. You learned to live with a roommate, balance academics and activities, how to cook ramen in many different ways. You have engaged with your community, confronted questions of identity and injustice, and endured the trials of group projects, midnight problem sets, and the reactions to national and global tension and unrest. Then came your chrysalis moments, those quiet battles, the hard decisions, the times when you felt like the pressure might just be too much. Maybe it was struggling with what felt like an impossible class, facing uncertainty about the college and future, coping with personal challenges, or many other messy and unpredictable challenges that we face. But here you are, on the other side, stronger, wiser, and more capable in beautiful ways you may not even realize or able to see. You have wings now, and you are ready to fly. At IMSA, our mission has always been to ignite and nurture creative, ethical, scientific minds that advance the human condition. That mission is not just a slogan on our website. It is a promise that we make to each student. It is a commitment to shaping leaders who will not only succeed, but who will uplift others. Leaders who will use their minds and hearts to solve real problems and improve real lives. You have been nurtured in a community that believes in your capacity to do hard things, not alone, but together. You've developed the resilience to face challenges, the compassion to lift others, and the imagination to ask, what if? Throughout your journey here, IMSA has aimed to foster problem solvers and discoverers. We encourage you to lean into your curiosity, to take intellectual risks, and to and to question, and some of you challenge, the status quo. And you did. You explored topics that frightened you. You ventured into research labs, policy forums, startup teams, and service projects that opened your eyes to the complexity of the world. And you didn't stop there. You connected your learning to something greater. You discovered that being great at school isn't just about mastering formulas or writing code. It's about what you do with it. It's about seeing a need in your community, in a classroom, in our global climate, and saying, I can help. That class of 2025 is what it means to advance the human condition. As you continue to grow personally, academically, professionally, remember this: like the butterfly, transformation doesn't end here. Life will continue to challenge you, to shape you. And with every challenge, you will have the opportunity to emerge even more fully into your purpose. Some of you will become doctors, engineers, researchers, educators, entrepreneurs. Some of you will change policy, design technologies, or write the next great novel. Many of you will blaze paths we can't even imagine yet. Whatever you do, do it with integrity. Do it with passion. Do it knowing that you carry the hopes of every mentor, teacher, parent, friend, and family member who believes in you. To the class of 2025, thank you for your commitment to transforming yourself and to our IMSA community. You are not leaving IMSA behind, you are taking it with you. You are forever IMSA. Congratulations, IMSA class of 2025, your metamorphosis has just begun. Dr. Glazer, I present to you the class of 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Riley. I'd personally like to thank you for your dedicated leadership as Principal and Chief Academic Officer of IMSA. Personally, I've noticed you're a great cheerleader who believes in the potential of every student, no matter where they grew up and no matter their life circumstances. You are constantly present at school events to celebrate our students, no matter the purpose. You give everything you can for IMSA and the welfare of our students. Thank you for being such a wonderful leader. To our friends and family here today, it is a pleasure to recognize the class of 2025 in front of me. Before doing so, I would like to honor people who have paved the way for our graduates. First, I would like to thank all of our faculty and staff for their incredible care that they've shown our students, pushing them to grow, helping them navigate challenges, and guiding them to become the remarkable people they are today. Let's give them another round of applause. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for entrusting me to be a good steward for the state of Illinois, to not only run IMSA, but to help shape a space where students are empowered to grow, to dream, and be transformed. Let's give the board a round of applause. And if you take a look of all the people around us, I would like to thank our families and our friends in the audience for their partnership with IMSA over the past 3 years, and for entrusting us to care for your students through the long days and at times, long nights. Thank you for your extraordinary commitment you have given to your children these past 18 or so years. to make this such a special day. Let's give them all a great round of applause. Now I turn to the class of 2025. I've had a pleasure to get to know many of you, some of you before your official start at IMSA through programs like Excel, and others throughout your time here in classrooms, activities, and everyday moments on campus. And of course, in the hallways, I love to help out with math problems. So probably right now, for those of you who had me as a math teacher, half of you are thinking, here comes another math joke. And the other half of you are thinking, oh no, here comes another math joke. All right, here it goes. What is 2n plus 2n? What? Are you speaking a different language? Gosh, that sounds so foreign to me. Okay, so I know some of you groaned, and that's okay. I really appreciate you humoring me because I really love math, and I certainly hope you saw that as we shared our time together. Now, if you really laughed at my joke, then you might have a promising future as a math teacher, as a faculty member of our IMSA community. So I ask you, as you think about all these promising aspects of your future, think IMSA is also part of your future. You don't have to spend just 3 years with us at IMSA. You could spend a whole career. All right, jokes aside, mathematics is a beautiful subject of inquiry and exploration. It poses an opportunity to challenge yourself constantly because you know there will always be a harder problem to solve. That's wonderful in a way because you're constantly discovering something you didn't know before. That aha moment can feel quite invigorating. And then I will acknowledge there are times where you feel stuck and not sure what to do, almost like you're in a trench, and it takes a lot of hard work to get out of it. You experience that struggle. And in those situations, working through that struggle has been a test of character and of resilience. I have to say the explicit goal of giving you these problem sets and challenging problems is to help you develop mathematically as a better problem solver. But there's a deeper meaning about your development as people, as future innovators and future leaders. It's so important to provide you opportunities where you're stuck and you have to struggle. We've put you in situations where you needed to engage in real-life problem solving because you had to stretch yourself beyond your familiarity. The ability to grasp concepts didn't come immediately to you, maybe as the way they did before you came to IMSA, and now you've been placed in situations of uncertainty, and that is great. We've asked you to cope with the unknown and work your way through it. And through that process, you start asking questions that have no known answers and develop the confidence to find solutions. However, let's talk pragmatically for a moment. In math, when you were stuck on a problem, what did you do? Did you figure it out on your own? How long did you wait until you took a break, until you asked a friend, until you inquired with ChatGPT, or you just waited to find out in class? And when you sought help, did you ask for a hint or did you ask for the full solution? I imagine the answers to these questions vary based on how much time you had, how much persistence you wanted to show, how much motivation you had, as well as any competing interest you had to manage. I mean, after all, you wanted to sleep, and I don't blame you. Running into stumbling blocks is just part of life. Although that may not have been the case before you came to IMSA. Most of you are the highest performing students in your local communities. A lot of your schoolwork was easy, and that prompted you to seek a challenging opportunity at IMSA. And I thank you for making that decision. You chose the harder path, the one that demanded more of you. And I hope you saw that it offered more in return. You all made that choice to be part of something bigger, to be part of a community of innovators and change makers. And I promise you, that decision will open doors or opportunities beyond what you can imagine. I hope you can see that today with our guest speaker, or someone who sat in your seat not long ago, who is pushing boundaries. I hope you see that both through your preparation and your sense of what you will do in the future, you have a confidence in solving problems that don't necessarily have known solutions. I hope that harder path by coming to IMSA has been both intellectually stimulating and also humbling to realize the pursuit of the unknown is not easy and is often a lot of hard work. I realize the challenge sometimes feels like a grind, and that required endurance and a will to go on at some of the most difficult moments. And in effect, that has helped build your character. Think about how much you have grown because you took the more difficult road and in turn have become more resilient than ever, ready to matriculate with a strong sense of independence and, more importantly, a sense of confidence and purpose. Purpose that will guide you in the years to come. So learning mathematics, in a way, has also been a test of life. In algebra, you use equations to find the unknown, to solve for x. And at times it's easy, and at times it seems nearly impossible. At times you need a friend to provide you guidance to make a math problem easier and to relieve your stress. Think beyond math. At IMSA, you explore courses, activities, and relationships to explore a different type of equation. One where you're trying to figure out who you are, what you care about, and what you want to be. Some days you didn't have an answer, but you sought to understand. You have inquired and explored, and you have persisted. And the days became months, and the months became years, and here you are today. You solved for X. Collectively, you've worked through IMSA's trials and tribulations, one challenge at a time, with each other, and transformed. And that is what really counts. Just remember, as you carry on to your next adventure in life, new challenges will arise that you will feel like here's another nearly impossible math problem again. Remember, you've learned how to navigate the unknowns and solve even the toughest equations, whether they be in math or they be in life. And remember your friends sitting beside you and your family sitting amongst us. They will be there to help you in your time of need as you explore the next solution. And when you achieve that next big thing, I hope that brings you a great sense of joy, appreciation to the people around you, impact in your community, and pride from your alma mater. I can't wait to learn what you do next. You truly have it in you to advance the human condition. Congratulations, class of 2025.
I don't have the blurb Riley wants me to read.
Go get it from him.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Nice. Go get it. Just walk up over there. Go check in the binder.
In keeping with tradition, we would like to be recognized and celebrated as a class. We kindly request that you hold all applause until every graduate is recognized. Your support in maintaining the dignity and tradition of our graduation ceremony is appreciated. Navya Dixit. Tristan Marley Wicks Castillo. Carissa Melrose Chen. Bisana Ka Abe. Simone Agarwal. Olivia Lynn Aguilar. Fianfolua Joy Akanyemi. Xander Conrad Albertson. Anjali Suaj Ali. Sarah Ella Almeida. Ibrahim Ba. Keegan Lent Balo. Anish Amol Bargage. Arya Barve. Joaquin Christian Bolanio. Nathan Thomas Burkus. Alvina Butiani. Jetty Bianc. Samuel Jonathan Biruduganti. Emerson Elizabeth Blair. Jaden Ikaika Blankenship. Thomas Patrick Blau. Aisha Ismail Bobat. Gabriela Alexis Boscarino. Arjun Brahmanandam. Samuel Liska Brunel. Nandini Bhuthdithi. Patrick Henry Suarez Cahill. William Robert Cahill. Zor Kai. Valeria Emma Campos Gonzalez. Shatakshi Chatterjee. Max Yunyoung Chen. Richard Chen. Ria Cherakuri. Shrihas Chanala. Jadiel Chintha. Ryan Cho. Ian Chung. Liana Jewel Lynn Cook. Ezra Abel Cornell. Christopher Francesco Costable. Rachel Coutinho. Ahana Das. You're good. Arushi Das. Naya Leigh Davis. Clay Mitchell Dean Jr. Ashi Daria. Shrikar Dulam. Ben Henry Dvorak. Cameron Lee Eddington. Kyle James Elzy. Antonio Espinoza Reyes. Catherine Sienna Fields Halva. Jose Florenzano. Lex Fogg. Jaykrish Ganeshan. Diel Garzon Torres. Catherine G. Maya Guile. Michael Francis Gochi. Michael P. Granger. Ria Gumidiala. William Tsao Guo. Madison Marie Guzman. Nolan Ryan Hansen. Aditya Hensodi. Amani Marie Harrington. Amira Harrington. Shrishant Rajendra Hatarki. Adam Haveliwala. Jordan Alisa Henry. Alyssa Renee Hernandez. Yvette Ava Hernandez. Gabriela Hernandez. Joseph Theodore Hernandez. Ellen Swen. Sydney Rain Hunter. Kaylee Jimin Huang. Kanan Suresh Ilimaparthi. Maya Ann Jimenez. Noel Joseph Scaraya. Vedanti Shailesh Joshi. Maya Kanan. Atharva Kishore Kapale. Soham Kashyap. Anwita Katsuri. Andrew Katzen. Evan Charles Kempf. Grant Evans Ketley. Jungwoo William Kim. Josephine Kim. Yunsia Kim. Lennon Rain Kimbrell. Nikhil Sai Kodali. Krish Kanda. Pranavi Korapati. Claudia Christina Cowell. Grania Helen Kozlowski. So sorry. Kushi Kata Kranthi. Aditya Kumar. Sarah Teresa Kumar. Yalini Lakani. Brian Thomas Lamb. Nathaniel Laud. Skylar Lane Lanius. Jose Antonio Lascano. Amy Aria Lendy.
Emily Xiaoyang Isham. Brian Richard Leong. Braden Lindstrom. Peter Liu. Kumara Venkata Satkrit Maladi. Elijah Togelo Malabe. Manhita Mamilapalli. Robert Louis Mendel. Tilly Manning. River Aiden Manov. Sebastian Mark. Anthony Fair Marquez. Hunter Gabriel Matthews. Sridhar Subodh Mahandale. Laksh Kunal Mehta. Michael Mung. Haley Noel Messina. Audrey Grace Miller. Ana Milagro Montano. Michaela Addison Moraga. Joshua H. Moo. Himani Musku. Diego Nava. Andrew Allen Nelson. Jacob Charles Nenza. Yukol Ung. Caitlin Quinn Wen. Jamila Sitambe Ripa Jikam. Kiara Martina Enjoya. Quetzali Nunez Luna. Philip Iai Abazuaye. Fope Esther Ojomelade. Jerem Bhat Palamadai. Georgie Panchev. Cheun Park. Mia Abigail Park. Advait Karthik Pashupati. Arna C. Patel. Arnav Hitesh Patel. Neve Brijesh Patel. Rashina Nimesh Patel. Naomi Lisa Drips Paulson. Soap Marie Pelke. Nelly Pignon. Nirav Reddy Polari. Carter James Pascozum. Rachel Chi. Netra Ramesh Babu. Elaine Eileen Rao. William Reynolds. Kira Mary Wrinkle. Stella Fuchila Ristich. Aaliyah Joy Ritchie. Brent Philip Nabo Rodrigo. Shashi Kiran Salavat. Dipanjali Samal. Catherine Frances Sharp. Torin William Schrodner. Max Taeshung Schwartz. Alyssa Sinise. Aditya Shah. Devarsh Shah. Haley Somil Shah. Ria Tushore Shah. Asad Ali Sheikh. Saad Ali Sheikh. Angel Jeanette Shepard. Horan Shi. Anmol Singh. Danye Arian Slayton. Alexander Leonida Sorescu. Lucinda Claire Stocco. Kale Suarez. Justin Lawrence Sullivan. Ethan Bay Terry. Michael Scott Theory. Carrington Sidney Thompson. Ian Amish Trivedi. Evan Kent Trone. Rachel Samantha Tsang. Kavya Uppal. Joseph Lane Urban. Dalia Inez Valadez. Megan Aditi Van Hoof. Shruti Vasudevan. Prabhav Sai Veeramachaneni. Kavan Venkat. Ankit Walashetty. David Wing. Sylvia Shiloh Wheeler. Mila Jane Wolkowitz. Andrew Wong. Dylan Kaihao Shiantao. Cindy Shu. Vibhishri Yama. Anna Yunsun Yang. Selena Yang. Jeffrey Yao. Yash Avinash Yardi. Trin Young. Jinyoung Yu. William Yu. Ganyu Abalade Yusuf. Carolyn Leijing Zhang. Lily Zhang. Greenlee Diane Zemer.
Motion them? Oh. We're going to let Greenlee get there. Congratulations. As a symbol of crossing over to the next stage in your life, you may now move your tassel from right to left. I would like to present to all of you the class of 2025.